I'll start, Coach. How you feeling about this deal going in?
Well, first of all, it's nice to be back in tournament play.
Right.
2 years ago, we don't have that opportunity in college baseball, and then last year with only playing conference games, we didn't have this opportunity. This is a great event. It's fun to be back in tournament championship style play, and looking forward to getting it going. You look at our roster, and we don't have a ton of guys that have experienced this before, and so it's going to be fun for them. And should be a great week.
You told Matt Daniels a couple of weeks ago you need to win the tournament to advance. Do you still feel like that? You have to win to keep playing.
Well, there's some factors. I mean, we have to get deep. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Deep. Okay.
And when I say deep, it's going to depend on who we play, because that's going to affect the RPI. If we're playing good RPI teams, which you have a chance, Michigan RPI is pretty good. And then if Maryland would win, we get a chance to play them, and you win 2 games there, it's going to help our RPI. At the time, I think we were in the 80s, and now we're in the high 60s. And so we've made some ground up, but we can't be marginal in this tournament. We need to play well, and we need to get some games in and win.
And how many bids do you think the Big Ten gets? You think 2 for sure, right? Yeah.
Well, you have 2 for sure, and then it's
Right.
Iowa and us, battling to see if we could, if we don't win. Okay, if we don't win, battling to see if we could get our RPIs in position where we are considered. The one thing that you don't need is for Maryland or Rutgers to win this thing. As far as a conference goes, nothing.
Right.
It's like in 15 when we did not win the tournament, it actually helped the league.
Right.
Because you get another bid. So, I'm hopeful we get 4, but right now it's 2.
Was it a good year in the Big Ten in your mind? Did you guys have a good year overall? I know it's odd because you're back non-conference games.
Well, are you talking as a conference?
Yeah,
overall?
as a conference. Were you guys okay, or how'd it go?
Well, yeah. So the factors to me goes back to what I said a few minutes earlier. We didn't get to play in 19, or I'm sorry, in 20, which affected a number of guys not getting experience. And then you go back to last year and not being able to play midweek games. And so you get a number of guys that don't get experience, and you don't get to develop those guys. That's had a major impact on our league, I think. You look as a group, our RPIs aren't as strong as they've been pre-COVID.
Right.
I think it's had a major effect. I think you'll see an uptick in that in the next few years. But I think we have good teams. I think you've seen a lot of teams get better throughout the year. I think we're one of those teams. Obviously we didn't play great early, and we've played much better late. As the year went along in the league, and you put more guys in game situations, I think we've improved. So again, I think that's a major factor for both us and the entire conference.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, what do you think of your bracket overall, and specifically Michigan? What are some challenges they're going to present for you?
Well, the bracket itself, all I know so far is we're playing Michigan and possible chance to play Maryland if we're in the winners bracket after day 1, and they're in the winners bracket. You can't look too far ahead, and we have to take care of business against Michigan. Michigan's an athletic team. They've got a lot of weapons offensively. We'll have to play extremely well. Everybody's 0-0 right now. And what we've done to get here, it doesn't matter anymore. So it's going to be a battle. Every game for us here has been a battle. We've got very good talent. I think we've played well, but it's not like we blow everybody out on a regular basis. I mean, we've got to play well and play at a high level.
What's different about managing the pitching staff in tournament play? Seems like that would be a pretty major factor in how well you do during the tournament.
You can look at that 2 different ways. One, you can sit here and worry about, well, we have to save this person or that person to me, you just figure it out each game. You do what you can to win the first game, and then you move on to the second game. I think you get yourself in trouble if you look too far ahead. So the one thing I said in the press conference that we had earlier today here at the stadium is I think that the teams that seem to advance the furthest have a surprise. And when I say that, you have somebody that's maybe struggled or doesn't have great stats or hasn't thrown a lot that year that all of a sudden jumps out and gives you something you didn't expect. And that really helps you advance late in the tournament. So, we'll look at Michigan and do what we have to do to win that game. And then, we'll worry about what happens the next game after we play Michigan.
Thanks, Coach.
Dan, in that regard, do you feel comfortable announcing, does Cole get the baseball tomorrow night, just to try to get you into a winner's bracket kind of situation as you go forward?
Yeah, we haven't announced anything yet. Michigan says they're not going to know till tomorrow morning, so I guess we won't know until tomorrow morning. But you in my mind, you go out and figure out a way to win game one. So yeah, I just think if you start trying to overguess things and start shuffling things around, you put yourself in a bad situation. And I think it's a bad message to your players as well. As like, this game's a pushover. There's not going to be a pushover game in this entire tournament.
What are the thoughts on, like, I know you just talked about managing your pitching staff, but what are your thoughts on trying to manage this bullpen throughout the year that you've had and just try to get you guys to the situation that you're in right now?
It's been challenging, and I think Mark Allen did a great job. You go back to some of the experience pieces that we talked about. We haven't had a lot of experience in guys that have been there before, and I think that's been a factor. And it's been more of a factor of consistency. You get a great outing or two out of a guy, and then you don't for a week, and that's, I think, been the biggest challenge. The thing that guys need to understand is the fact that I don't care what's next to your name, freshman, redshirt, senior, whatever it is, we've been through another year of baseball, and so it's an opportunity for you to go out and pitch in championship play. And, you have experience now, so there's no excuses. You relax, you go out, you compete, you get your job done.
What are the challenges or maybe the advantages of playing in the ballpark in Omaha? I forget what it's called now. It used to be TD Ameritrade, but it's a big park, and you can get yourself a lot of outs that way.
No doubt. It's Charles Schwab Field.
Okay.
And don't worry, I've called TD Ameritrade for about 3 weeks now. But it is a bigger ballpark, and we need to make that work to our advantage, both from a pitching standpoint, and we need to understand what we have to do offensively. We're not a big home run power team. I mean, we've hit some this year, but we've manufactured runs and moved runners, and that, to me, that's what you have to do in this ballpark to win games. We need to do a really good job of getting runners in when they're in scoring position, especially less than 2 outs, and come up with some big 2-out hits. But you need to understand the ballpark, and you can't sit there and hit a bunch of fly balls and expect to be successful. And then, as you talked about from a pitching standpoint, not that you can't give home runs up here, because we have when we've been here in the past, but unless the wind's just absolutely gusting out, I don't think you have a lot of wind blowing home runs, and so they'd have to be legit.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Coach, you had five guys make the All Big Ten team, 4 on the second, 1 on the third. Can you just comment on the year that those guys had?
Yeah, we've had a lot of really good years, and we did have the guys that were honored. Have some guys that maybe aren't on those lists that's had really good years as well. Been a team effort from our standpoint. You look at some of the years guys have, and look how difficult it is to get on first team. I mean, it's pretty special when you're named to one of those teams. Really proud of our guys. as to where they started and where they've gotten to, and some of the maturity that you've seen over the years to get them to this point where they're on a team. The thing that I don't know that everybody understands how the process works, but you're nominated basically by your own coaching staff, and then from that point forward, you can't vote on your own players, and so it's a legitimate vote by all the other players, or I'm sorry, all the other coaches in the league as to what they see on how you perform. So it's a pretty special award for each and every one of those guys, and really happy for them and proud of their accomplishments.
Coach, that's the building where all baseball teams want to go eventually. 2 weeks from now, you want to be there. Talk about, playing that facility, what it means to you to be there.
Well, it's a great town. This ballpark is awesome. It's set up for tournament play. It's the ultimate goal to get here and win a national championship. You dream about it as a young baseball player, and they've done such a good job with TV and media to promote this over the years. Nebraska, being the host institution, does a tremendous job of making it a great experience. And the thing that we talked about a long time ago is a coaching group, is the fact that that it would give our guys an opportunity to play in a place where ultimately if you get back, you have some experience here. You kind of get a lay of the land, the hotel, the ballpark. So I think it's a huge plus for our conference.
Right.
Dan, can I specifically ask you about Tommy Green? It seems like it's almost been a month since he's given up a run. When you're going to have guys throw maybe consecutive days, is he somebody as a senior that you can rely on and give the baseball to late in a game at this point and just feel confident with?
Yeah, you better not be jinxing us on that one.
Sorry.
No, absolutely. I mean, Tommy's done a great job for us, and he's one of those guys that has continued to mature throughout the year. And we're not going to do anything that's going to hurt anybody, but he's a guy that we can't go back-to-back days with. And this is a situation where you need to go out and you need to win. And again, within what's right for the student athlete and health-wise, we'll get pitchers out there when we feel like they can help us win games. And if it's back-to-back days, that's what we'll do.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
You're
Dan.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Good luck.
Have a good week.
Thank you.